The Colts appeared to have found some stability at quarterback early in the season as Daniel Jones led the team to an 8-2 record before Week 11 bye, posting the best mark in efficiency per play. That momentum stalled after a series of injuries, ultimately ended the season with a torn Achilles, did Jones. While both sides may hope to continue the partnership, uncertainty around his recovery timeline, and then maybe wanting to pair him with a younger guy, I think is something they need to look at and think about. I think you can win with Daniel Jones, but I think the ability to play better around him is going to be pivotal. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. But I think quarterback is something they need to really look hard at with their short and long-term future. Is on defense, it's defensive tackle, linebacker, safety. Let's get into that. The Colts were considered one of the best teams in the league record-wise in the first couple of months. 7-1. Barely won any games down the stretch because Daniel Jones and some key defenders suffered injuries. And that was the key and the problem there. Perhaps they'll have better luck in 2026 with injuries. They need to. Quarterback's a need. We discussed that and how they want to play that position with, the possibility of Daniel Jones not starting off healthy. Do they want to get a young guy to groom? I don't know that it's the biggest priority, but it's something maybe they definitely need to look at going forward. Linebacker. Major issues covering the middle of the field last year. Linebackers are going to need an infusion of young athletic talent. Safety. They can continue to help themselves covering the middle field by finding an upgrade there. I think the biggest problem that I saw defensively is that you could throw on them over the middle of the field at the second and third levels. Defensive end. Latu was really good last year, but he's going to have his work cut out for him in 26 because of all the other edge rushers are headed into free agency. So that's a concern there in addressing that. Right tackle on offense. I thought they had a good offensive line, but right tackle Braden Smith is set to hit free agency. What are they going to do there? How much they're willing to spend? How they're going to replace him if they don't sign him? All key things there. Wide receiver. Colts have a bunch of solid receivers, but none of them profile as the number one target. Alex Pierce came closest last year, but he's an impending free agent. Defensive tackle depth. There's some expiring contracts at this position, so the Colts will need a new interior defensive line play behind the starters. So I think defensive tackle depth is another priority. Colts, I think, are an interesting team. This division is starting to get better. If we can see the Colts have a good draft, along with Houston, along with Jacksonville, maybe Tennessee getting better. This division, I think, has some talent, mainly due to the quarterback positions, young quarterbacks at the other three spots. So can Daniel Jones be the long-term answer for the Colts? That's what they need to decide, or they're going to have to maybe ride with him and play great around him. We'll see how that plays out. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free for you to do so, and it helps us grow, so we'd certainly appreciate if you did just that. Share, like, check us out at LandryFootball.com as well. Always appreciate you joining us. Talk to you again next time, everybody.